Good afternoon and welcome to Season 3 of P2PCrafts Presents, brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft shows. Now, I'm your host, Michelle Brown, Creative Director From Picture to Page, which is our scrapbooking, mixed media art, papercrafts, card making and stamping community. Now, P2PCrafts presents a whole heap of interviews and demonstrations from our talented crafters, as long as with some guest artists, and we're coming right into your home. So P2PCrafts Presents is now halfway through Season 3, and for all the details of who we've got coming up this week and next week, as well as all the other previous videos, hop over to our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au, where you can get all that information, get the link straight into the retailers' platforms, and make sure you support our local retailers as well. And while you're over there, make sure you're on our mailing list, because at the end of each week we send you out a full summary of who we've had on, as well as who we've got coming up. Now, whether you're watching here live on Facebook or you're watching a replay on Facebook, YouTube, or on our website, we want to know that you're there. So pop in the comments, say hello, please ask any questions, and we will do our best to answer them either during the session or following up. Now today, P2PCrafts presents Close to My Heart, and Dannii. Hello, Dannii.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, viewers. How are you?
We're so excited to have Close to My Heart back with us today.
I am very excited to be here. I've got some fun stuff to share today.
Excellent. Now, you were telling me that it's National Stamping Month.
It is. September starts National Stamping Month, which is really, really exciting because we all love a good stamp. But Close to My Heart has come out with some rather different stamps that I'm going to share with you today, and a fun technique that I think will delight young and old.
Excellent. Because I think sometimes, you know, in a way, I came through mixed media rather than scrapbooking. I came through stamping, and I think sometimes we almost forget to go back to our crafting roots.
Absolutely. I'm generally a scrapbooker. As you know, I've been dabbling in some art journaling with you recently, Michelle. But stamping is so much fun, whether it's on your scrapbook pages or on your cards. I love it.
Excellent, excellent. And so what do you think about this release of Close to My Heart that's made it so special?
I think it's just something really different. I haven't seen a lot of it around in the market. And it's a bit of fun, just using a few different products in different ways. So it'll be good.
Excellent. Well, let's jump right in. Excellent. Now, while Dannii gets herself organised, hi there, Faye. Hello, Tammy. See you, Samantha, Mary, and of course, Diana. It's so good to have you guys here. And it looks like Dannii is ready to go, so we'll hand back over to Dannii. Excellent, Dannii. Take it away.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, September is not only National Stamping Month, it is also the month for Close to My Heart, where we have two beautiful new catalogues released. So we have a 2-month catalogue that's just come out for September and October. And then we have a new annual catalogue which runs all year from September through to August. So it really is my favourite month with so many new goodies. But what I'm wanting to share first up is what we call creativity in motion. And so it's creating these cute little cards. And hang on, I've hidden my sample in this pile. That allow us to create some interaction. And I'm so glad by your sounds there, Michelle, that you can actually see the butterfly flapping her wings.
Yes, we definitely can.
Excellent. So this is created using this lovely film here. So this is an acetate sheet with these black lines printed on it. And so they come, well, they're actually a little bit bigger than a 12 by 12, but they come in a pack of 3. And so you can buy the sheets separately, or everything comes in a bundle. Just get that out of my way. And then they've paired them up with some of these fun, interesting stamps. So when you look at the stamps initially, they do look quite strange. But then it's the addition of that acetate film that suddenly gives you that movement.
Oh, so they are so cute.
So we've got our fun animals. That's what I'm going to be using today. But you saw the butterfly. Well, there's more butterflies and dragonflies. And then there's also some words. So this does actually say happy, happy birthday. Surprise, thank you, hello. There's another thanks, a congratulations. And this heart's quite cute as well. So there's a few different options with those. So the other thing that they've released with this pack is this beautiful 6x6 paper sampler pack. And I've completely forgotten how many sheets are in there, but that is a full pack. So there's a heap. And so they're all double-sided with all these beautiful patterns. So perfect size for card making, or I have been using some in my scrapbooking. So today I've done a bit of prep for us, and I've cut this little frame here that's going to be the top of our frame. So like I did, and I just put my sample somewhere, like I did on the butterfly card, I've got the frame around. I've cut my acetate to size. Now it is beautifully positioned on the acetate. I didn't have to worry about were my lines going to be straight. They are perfectly straight even on like as you cut them, so that was fine. This is the center that's popped out, so I'm actually going to use that to stamp. I'm going to use the lion today, stamp the lion onto. And then this little pull tab that I've created was actually using this cute little stamp set. So here's all the words that you could use on these tabs, and they combine with these die cuts. And so you can obviously make longer sections or shorter sections. And so I've just cut that in advance for us. So a couple of tricks here. And I might actually leave him on the green, it'll be easier for you guys to see him. When you're lining up your stamps for doing this practice, oh, I've already put him on my block. I was totally prepared. Oh, and they're stuck together. Oh, there we go. What I actually want to do is something a little bit different. So I'm going to turn my stamp upside down. So this is the stamping surface. And I'm actually going to line him up with his lines over my acetate and basically where I want him, because my block I happen to have here is a 3-inch block. This happens to be a 3-inch window, and I've just put him up a little bit too high. Let's just straighten him up again. Where do I want him? I want him there. And so I know by placing him on that way and then squaring my block over the top, it's actually giving me a perfectly straight stamp section.
Oh, that's very clever, Dannii. That makes it much easier to align.
Much easier. So I've peeled him up. Now, this is a brand new stamp. Now, I don't know how many of you do what we call seasoning for our stamps. With acrylic stamps, this is definitely a requirement. And I just rub my stamp just lightly over my skin. It takes off some of that shine and that really sticky surface on my stamp, and it actually allows the ink to cling properly, which is what we want. Now, I'm using today our Intense Black ink just purely because it is a very dark, rich black. And just a couple of taps. Some people like to give it a bit of a twist. I don't need to tap too hard. I do, however, want to double check just to make sure. My poor ink pad's had a bit of love this week, so he does need a bit more ink, I think, but that's okay. All right, that's better. So now, this is the foam backing from the stamp set, and it makes a really good cushy surface if you don't have a special stamping mat. Often I turn these gridded mats over, but I wanted to use the gridded mat today because I want to make sure that my card is square, because then I'm going to line up my stamp block with my grids to make sure that they're straight. And sorry if my head was in the way, but I needed to see over the top.
That's okay. We can still see.
And I'm just going to give that a push down. So the foam just helps give a squishy surface if you've never stamped with a foam piece underneath. Oh, he didn't work at all. What have I done today? You know what? I love it. Turn it over. This is live. Things happen.
We've always got two surfaces of a piece of paper.
That's right. Don't know why that didn't quite work like I wanted it to, but anyway.
It looked fine from here.
Maybe I talked for too long. Nah, it wasn't quite. All right. I think my ink was drying out because I talked for too long. That's
there we go.
Much better. I'm just going to give that a quick clean up. For those of you who perhaps haven't used acrylic blocks before, the acrylic does take on the pigment a little bit, but so I'm just using a stamp chamois here, or you can wash them under soapy water, anything you like. it'll just take off that excess pigment, and then it won't leave a mark the next time round when I stamp. So I could go to a yellow or anything I like after that now, and it will be fine. Now, before I put my hand in that, let's get that out of the way. Okay. Now, the thing that I want to make sure of here is that when I connect up my pretty pull tab, and I've deliberately made it a little bit bigger, and that is always the way. I've just misplaced my adhesive. It was here. There it is. I had children in here this morning, clearly. And I want to have this so that I know that my tab is going to stick outside of my frame, but at the same time attach itself to my line. And as I said, I deliberately made it too long so that I had a bit of wiggle room if I wanted the pull higher or lower. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess.
It's always good to have a bit of wiggle room.
Absolutely. Now, my next step that I want to do is actually applying some foam tape, just some 3D foam. This is any 3D foam is fine, but I've just used a narrow 3D foam. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that your acetate does actually have a slightly darker side and a lighter side, so just doesn't really make a difference. But the biggest thing you want to make sure of is that you're only applying foam to 3 sides.
Oh, that's a good tip. Yes, 3 sides.
3 sides. Otherwise, it isn't going to move anywhere.
That would be frustrating.
Yes. And I have seen that done by me because I didn't think about
That's how we learn.
Yes. I've been very generous with my foam here. You don't need to have a complete foam along the sides. You could do smaller pieces, but I've been super generous. Now, that is obviously going to sit over there, and I'm going to attach this after I've attached my acetate to my foam. And the other thing I like about the acetate, if you do happen to not lay your foam flat, you can pull it back again. All right. For my card front, this is just one of our standard card fronts. I've already cut a piece of craft card. This is a cut down piece from the 6x6 pack, and I'm just going to tear this. If you haven't noticed already, tearing seems to be coming back. All our cardstock and our patterned papers all have a white core. So the side that you pull up is going to have the non-white edge, and the side that you push away from your tear is going to have that white core look. I just want to flip one of these over just so that I've got both together.
Oh, I like that.
And hang on, do this way so I line it up first. So this allows me to use both sides. The patterns are quite complementary on both sides, so it gives quite a nice look. They match together, which makes card making easy, less decision making.
That's always good.
Always good. All right. So that's my really quick, simple card front. Peel off the backs to my foams. Now, that is, I'm just going to go slightly to one side just so that my tab, when I slide this in, oops. And if you're like me and you accidentally put your foams in too close to the edge, don't stress. It's very forgiving. We'll just trim a tiny bit off. No one else will know. There we go. Now he slides in. And there is my lion doing his thing. Quick little dab of adhesive. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you use a glue adhesive. I often use our liquid glass product, or a tape runner is fine, or some, double-sided tape. Whatever you've got will work fine. I'm just doing this quite quickly. So now, by putting my frame over the top, all is hidden with my foam and my not straight foam. It doesn't matter anymore. And
it really finishes it off. Yeah.
It does. And obviously you could cut that from any colour you like, and I'm going to pull that die set out shortly. Love you something fierce.
Oh, that's cute.
Ta-da! So we have our finished lion. He is very cute. So that's the Creativity in Motion, one of the stamps. As I was saying, it is our promotion for Stamping Month. You can buy all the products in a bundle. It's $208 worth of product, but they're actually selling it for Stamping Month for $145. Or you can get all the components individually, depending on your preference.
Mm-hmm. And so, Dannii, what's in the bundle?
The bundle has the acetate.
Mm-hmm.
You get those 3 stamp sets.
Mm-hmm.
You get the dies.
Oh, okay.
And you get the stamp set. So, and don't forget the pattern paper.
Oh, that comes as well. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Get all of that in the bundle for $145. So a really, really good deal. All right. I'm going to show you some more new product because it wouldn't be a new catalogue without lots of new product. And I have been very, very excited. So for those of you that have perhaps seen us at one of the Picture to Page shows, Pakenham or Sandown or even Bendigo, you may have made shaker cards with us before. And traditionally, our shaker cards have been round. So we've had this round die set for quite a while. Well, this time round, Close to My Heart have got excited. As you can see, we've got hearts. So we can be making hearts.
Oh, wow.
We've got stars. So all these little extra bits in the middle are designed so that you could cut your own insert shakers.
Oh, that's clever. Then you can make sure they always coordinate.
Absolutely. The other thing they've done is that we've had these stitched frames for quite a while, but now you can actually get the matching foam. So I don't know how well this shows up for you, but there's a large foam. So if I go with this one, a large foam that matches this size. There's a foam to match this one. There's a foam to match this one. You get all the acetate sheets to go on top. And then you've still got left, just like with our other shapes, all these extra little squares of foams for other creations, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So they've done those for the squares as well. Get those out of the way.
Sometimes it's just those little things that make it so much easier, doesn't it?
It is. It is. So on this card, I've used, obviously, the heart shape shaker, used the dies to cut the beautiful raspberry cardstock here. But what I had fun playing with this time round, my background is actually a stencil.
Oh, okay.
Out of the way. Close to My Heart have actually released a range of 12 by 12 stencils, which I'm really excited about because I don't have to move my stencil around my scrapbook page now as I use them.
Although they're a little bit hard to see the patterns on the stencils. They're very clear.
Sorry, they are very clear, and I don't have a better way to show this. So we have some circles, a starburst or sunburst, and then I wonder if I find, hang on.
Have you got some card there? It's just
I'm
they're very clear.
Is that any better?
No,
Michelle?
that's just kind of freaking the video out. It's just looking really pixelated, which it isn't. I think it's just the stencil. How bizarre.
How bizarre. Nope, that's worse.
That's got lines on it as well.
Is yellow any better?
Perhaps just hold it up at a bit more of an angle. Yeah, unfortunately not. We might have to get some separate photos and pop them up.
That's fine, I will. But there are 3 different sets of 12 by 12 stencils.
Wow.
I'm very impressed. They're in about the mid-20 price range. I can't remember exactly. But what I wanted to show you is one of our shakers in action because I know that perhaps some of you haven't seen them before. So I've cut out for us a star shaker. The die set, which if I bring that back in, has the die to cut the surround. That's this one. And then this large star is actually to cut your backing for your shaker.
Oh,
so
okay.
obviously I could place it straight onto my card base or page or whatever, but by doing it this way, it allows me to colour coordinate or change up my backing star.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to peel my star off.
Ah, so this is the foam that's already cut out. Or do you need
So this is the foam. Yep, it comes as a pack.
Wow.
There's 6 stars to a pack, or 6 hearts or 6 circles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Oh, it's stuck to my fingers. All right. So very gently. The surround is very forgiving. It does bend and move, and the actual overlay covers a multitude of sins if you happen to put the star on slightly the wrong way, which is totally what I've done here. There is a slight shape discrepancy here.
Oh, okay. It's not quite symmetrical. Or
I practiced this last night and I did lay it out the right way. Funny me. I think that's looking better. That's better.
oh, there we go. Yeah.
Much better. All right. The other thing that I want to do before putting anything in the middle is I just want to run my anti-static pouch over the top. It just
so
helps.
Dannii, just tell us about the anti-static pouch for those that are new to stamping.
Yes, good point. So the anti-static pouch is literally, it's filled with like a flour, like corn flour or baby powder, something like that. And you saw all the powder come out. It comes out everywhere. And what it does, it takes the static away from if you're heat embossing. But in this instance, what I'm actually using it for is to take the stick away from the inside of the foam.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
It's a little bit sticky. Blow that off somewhere else, not at the camera. So now, before I go to the next step, I'm going to add inside this all my little things. Now, I could have stamped in here. I could have done whatever, but I'm going to add some pretty bluebell sequins. We do have a range of star confetti.
Oh, wow.
Kind of perfect. The other thing which they've just released for this year is an array of beads. Now, ignore the storage containers. We don't sell these, but so some little mini beads and things that you could put inside as well. So there's a variety of different things that you could be putting into your shakers.
I think I may have some seed beads from a few years ago now.
Absolutely. We probably all do. Now, I'm just going to gently peel that off.
And this is where we don't sneeze.
Nope, don't sneeze. And it is very sticky. The acetate covers are all pre-cut as well. And one side has a peel-off protective coating. Now, I tend to put that side up because just the peeling off does create a bit of static.
Right.
And you may see the beads jump around a little bit here. As long as you are over the foam and sealing your edges, I've gone over here, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Once I've stuck my top on, I can always trim that extra acetate off. Again, I would generally use the liquid glass, so this product, but just for ease of showing today quickly. Come on.
Yeah, because you don't want to get the glue onto the acetate. That would ruin the effect.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to line this up. And I've picked probably the hardest shape to do live on camera because it is the most finicky of. But this is where I was saying I can just go back in and trim things up. And in that instance, oh, wow, I've trimmed off a tiny bit of my foam because it was sticking out. Yeah. So you would go around, you will trim that up nicely. Then I would be attaching that just with some tape runner or something. I'm going to trim that up later properly. But that's my little card.
Oh, that is lovely.
And when it's attached, it will shake nicely for you. So that little stamp I've used here for the smile is actually another one of the National Stamping Month sets.
Mm-hmm.
So push that up. So cute little quotes there and flowers and birds and things. So just something fun. The other thing they've released, and we all love bling, is just some new little bling and adhesive sequins. So if this was me, because I've used black in the smile, I'm just going to add a few little...
And are they slightly flower shaped? It's just a bit hard to tell.
They're a starburst is what they've called. Yeah, so that's a black set, but they do also have
pretty
flowers.
Colours.
Yep, so in the flowers, some new bling gems and pearl dots and things. So there's lots of new embellishments as well. All right. And I like the fact, look how cool that star is in that silver metallic paper. I'm loving that. So we do stock a range of metallic papers. There's more of those beads in different colours. Okay. I don't know how I'm going time-wise,
No,
Michelle.
you're going fine, Dannii. Fine.
Perfect. I'm going to show you, in the annual catalogue, close to my heart, I've released a whole heap of new dies, which I'm really excited about. I love my Cricut. Don't get me wrong. I love being able to cut things out. But sometimes it is just quicker and easier to grab out my Cuttlebug or whatever your die machine is and cut things. So the flower, I love this flower die set. So it actually comes with all those pieces.
Wow.
The magnetic comes standard with all of our dies. So for those that love magnetic sheets, they are all there. And it cuts all these pieces for you. Now, I've cut this out of one of our new colours. So 7 new colours were released into our range this September. And one thing for those who don't know close to my heart cardstock, it's all actually double-sided and two-toned. So both sides will coordinate together. So you can see I've cut from the dark side, the light side, dark, light. You also get the centre of your flower. So you just roll him up. And if you had a quilling tool or something like that, that will work too. I have those, but didn't think to grab those right now.
I'm sure we've all got one somewhere.
Yep. And then you just press out the stamens. And so that will then sit very nicely in your flower in the centre. And so you can obviously be bending up these petals a bit too if you want to make them a bit more three-dimensional. I've seen people use quilling tools and things just to curve the edges, those sorts of things. So it's a great little set. The flower is quite big. So if I compare it to a card front, so that is 4 1/4 inches wide.
Yeah, so it will still fit, but it well and truly fills it.
It does. So you could always use less layers too if you wanted to. So that's a bit of fun with that die set. They've also brought out a whole array of what stitched bracket frames, I guess you could call them. So for doing little quotes and things for your card fronts. This particular one I've heat embossed, and it's using our new pearl paper.
Wow.
So this is a white paper with a beautiful shine. They've also brought out a black, what they call a black ore paper, and there's a copper ore as well. So just some nice metallic-y type things in our range.
Ooh, the
more
black
of those,
metallic one sounds very nice.
It does. More of the stitched brackets. Brought out just a nice little round frame there. And this little cutie cuts tiny little mini envelopes.
Envelopes, how cute.
And they look very, very cute on cards and things, and hiding little things on scrapbooking pages. These literally arrived yesterday, so I haven't even got them out of the plastic to play with them, but some new stitched hexagon shapes. And again, just for a sizing there, you know, that large one is very, very large. It literally is that 4 1/4 inches across, so quite some good sizes there. I've seen some very cute little honeycomb cards and things with some of these smaller ones, so lots of fun there. For those of you that like to do interactive and perhaps a bit different, this set is a window set, and so you get all the dies, as you can see here. So you've got the window frame, these are your shutters and like your tops of your frames, and so you've got different shutter options and things. And so this one pictured has a shaker in behind it, but there are also some season stamps and things, so you could be doing like a window through looking at the autumn leaves or things like that. So
I think I've got some stamps that are probably nearly 20 years old. They were front and back stamps, so you could put it through the window. That would be perfect.
Yep, that is exactly what you'd be looking for. This beautiful card is using, again, our silver metallic paper. I've got a bit of a fascination with that at the moment.
You might just have to put it on a bit of an angle. It is sort of glaring a bit under the light. Yeah, that's a bit better. Yep.
Better?
Yes.
And it's using our new Bluebell cardstock. The silver here is some of our shimmer trim, which I love, and I'm going to use some of that in our next card shortly. But this is just some of the range. They've released about 5 or 6 new colours in shimmer trim, and it's literally glitter tape. So you just peel the back off, and it sticks to whatever you put it on. So this card has been made using a couple of the new dies. So the Thanks is a 2 die set. So you get the back, the white back, and then the one that cut the silver. So that's that set. But it's the actual card front that I am loving. So this is a 3-piece die set.
Oh.
And so you're cutting each layer. So this is the bottom layer. You've then got layer 2. And then the most intricate is your layer 3. So you can mix and match and change that up, obviously, as you like. And these ones here with these cutouts, I've actually stuck some down on another project where I've created flowers using the bits that I've cut out and things like that. So
we don't throw anything away, do we?
we don't. So very cool cards. And I've even seen a lady who did the reverse. So she kept all the cutout pieces and then stuck them back in the opposite order. So the big pieces on the bottom, layering it up to the little pieces, and did the inverse of the card.
Oh, that's dedication.
Total dedication. This one, so they've released another range of just single layer card fronts, but this little heart one here, and so I've just used some distress oxides in the background to create my nice graduated background behind the die. In this particular one, I actually used the die first as a stencil to create this card, and then I had the pretty leftovers to create another card. So it's a twofer.
Yeah, that's clever.
This particular die is what we call it's a door front, and so each of these little cutouts creates these cute little windows into excitement. And so by cutting it on a patterned paper, because it's a dual side pattern paper, I get a different colour on the inside, and then I stamped onto the card front. Now, I used this particular one. It was my dodgy, it moved in the die cutter, but it allowed me, I cut off the doors from the plain one to stick over the colour just to make it easier to stamp on.
Oh, okay.
And then I've used this actually as a stencil. So on my card front, before attaching anything, I just drew little dots in the corners of each of these and stamped in them before I added my die cut with the doors. So it made it nice and easy.
Yeah.
And then to go with that, now this is a well-loved stamp set. You can see that by how black it's looking. So this is the stamp set I used to create this one. So they've got a Christmas theme, there's a Halloween theme, there's a few other themes as well, with stamps that are perfect for fitting inside these small doors. All right. Still onto the dies. So more card front dies. So just cutting this out of cardstock. This particular one is more floral based. Hang on, let's move that one out of the way. And so I've just started playing with it, cut a second one, and you can see I've been cutting bits out and sticking them back on so that I can create my flowers
in two tones.
Colour. Yeah. Just another one here. So gives you those nice stitched line look with the dots. So this is going to be a nice card back yet. I think, maybe my flower would look good on that. I don't know. We'll play with that
love
later.
those creative moments where you suddenly go, oh, I can do this and this. Yes.
Close to my heart, every now and then bring out embossing folders, and I love white on white. It's a really elegant sort of look. And so this particular card, I've just taken 1-inch squares of embossed paper and then selectively added some colour. And so the embossing folders I used are some of the new ones. So this is good old cascading dots, again in that pearl paper.
Yeah, that's quite hard to see the pattern on the screen.
I know, it's dots. Just trust me, it looks like confetti.
Yep.
And we've got, hopefully that one shows up for you. This is a flower pattern, so some quite large flowers and things in there. The good old wood grain is back again.
Oh, excellent.
We love a good wood grain emboss. And so you can see, because our cardstock is that white base, you do get that quite distressed look at times, depending on how hard you press through the embosser. If you don't have a die cutting machine but you love embossing folders, use a rolling pin. It'll work.
Or pasta maker.
Ah, yes.
But really, if you're serious about crafting, you do need a die cutter. So
that's okay.
I put it off for a long time. I've got a full-on digital cutter thing, and I just love my die cutting machine. It just makes life so much easier.
All right, so that's the last one. So there was 4 new embossing folders. And probably my most used in my dies is my alphabets. So they've released a new alphabet set in lowercase, yay, and uppercase. We seem to get lots of uppercase, but never lowercase, so that's exciting. With the matching stamp sets. So you can
excellent.
be cutting them and stamping them as well. All right.
That's so clever.
Get that pile out of the way. Okay. Oh, it slid into view. The last card that I wanted to show you, which I'm really excited about, is using this fun stamp set. So this is one of the new ones, just some good happy everything, really. And so you can see I have been excited about this stamp set. I have created a few things with it. And so it has that dual layer so that you can be stamping the insides of that happy in a different colour, or you just leave it with no fill colour, whichever you prefer. But this would have to be the coolest die.
What is it?
I've tried to make waterfall cards or for my layouts myself.
Yep.
And I am bad at it. So what this die does, when I take all the bits off, is it cuts your big tag for you.
Right.
Do all the folds. So these are score lines. And then this set also allows you to cut the squares and things for the waterfall sections.
So to explain to our newer crafters, a waterfall card is sort of a style of card, and it's interactive. So
it does this.
Yeah.
But obviously you decorate it. This was my prototype.
Yeah, you always need a prototype. Oh, that's exciting.
Absolutely. It is. So it allowed me to cut my base squares. You've got a few other decorative sizes to allow you to do other things. So, for example, I could stick that on there. I've used the smaller scalloped square on that one. And then you've got a couple of different taggy type ones for the bottom for banners and things like that. So, a couple of things with this. So this is my card base. If you buy this and you cut it, it does have written instructions with it with pictures and things, but it's always good to see a demo.
Yeah, good to do a prototype and watch a demo.
Absolutely. The thing that you need to do, paper has a bit of a memory, so you can train it to do things, which sounds weird, I know, but I want all of my folds to actually be going the same way, which seems counterintuitive initially. But if you don't fold your paper the right way, when you get to this point and you're trying to pull it, it doesn't pull smoothly. And so the flaps don't actually...
turn it on the side a bit. It's a little bit hard to see the white, but...
Yeah. Come on, pop out. There we go. So I'm going to put this one together for you. So you do need to decorate it before you stick it together. And so I've pre-cut all my bits just to show you. And so this base square, I am literally sticking in that bottom section. So it's below the bottom fold, but in between that bottom flap. This is the bit that actually attaches it to the card. And then the next one, oh, I've got little bits of paper everywhere. I am just running my adhesive, putting the next square up to the next fold line. And so now it's only adhered that top section.
Yep.
Oh, tape runner stopped running. Do the same for the next one. Same for the third one. So this was using stamps from that stamp set and a few stickers from, this is the Party Time paper pack. So now to stick that to my card front, I'm going to fold that under. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive out the side. Now this tab is a bit wider than a card front, only because it means then you could run it the other way if you wish to.
Oh, okay.
I need to make sure that my tab is actually folded in underneath before I stick it down. It does become a bit annoying to do it later. And I've just stamped on some white ribbon. So white ribbon, I think, is a must in anyone's craft stash. And I'm going to make this as my little pull for the bottom.
Okay, so you're putting that on first just to make it easier to access both sides.
Only because I want to staple it.
Fair enough.
All right. So I'm going to put this on my card. And obviously I can decorate this up. This was some of that shimmer trim that I was talking about before, so I can just peel off the adhesive back. I'm planning, I think I might put some there. And this I'm going to put down here, keeping in mind that I can't stick anything, like where I stick it, it's going to sit over the bottom of my presents, so that's fine, because otherwise it'll interfere with the pulling of my waterfall. But that is our very cute waterfall card.
Wow, that certainly does make it simpler.
Makes it very simple. Just turn that slightly sideways so you get the idea they all pull in. And of course, you could be decorating this section as well. So that is our very cool waterfall card.
Wow.
Just whilst I've got you, I'm going to show you just a few scrapbooking projects.
Oh,
You know,
excellent. We need scrapbooking projects too.
We need scrapbooking projects. And I know, Michelle, we were going to talk a little bit after my demo about some of my classes that I'm running. This particular layout is my optional kit for this Saturday's class.
Okay, could you just move that a bit to your left, please? We can't quite other way. That's it. Perfect.
Perfect. Excellent. And so this is all cut for you when I do my kits. They're all cut for you. If there's any stamping, that's all done for you. This one doesn't have stamping, but it does have a lot of Cricut cut pieces. And it's packed out to you with instructions. It's a $12 kit, which includes postage. And the beauty of this is that the video will also be available after the event. So even if for some reason Australia Post hates us and your kit didn't arrive in time, you still are able to order this if you wish.
Yeah, a $12 kit and you've cut it all out. That's amazing value.
I know. I'm trying to be nice to everyone. It's COVID after all. So that layout I just showed was using what we call Bloom with Grace papers and stickers and compliments and things. This is a mix from our new lovely paper pack. And then we've also got a new wood grain paper pack because everyone loves a good wood grain. So there's lots of different wood grains in that. This is more of that party time layer paper. So I really love this paper pack. One side is, like, it's all bright, but one side genders on that, I guess, what you traditionally call male option, so more blues and greens, and the other side is more pinks and yellows. So you can be flipping it depending on what feel you want to achieve for your layouts or cards or anything like that. So this is more that blue side with the same one. So yes, and I'm done.
You're done. Excellent. Well, I'll give you a minute to flip back and we will have a chat. So, oh my goodness, I can't believe some of those things. A waterfall card, for those of you that have tried to do one yourself, you know that they can be a little bit tricky, but it's great to see that. And there's so many things there that I think we could certainly get some use from. So, excellent. Well, let's have a chat to Dannii about what she is up to. So, Dannii, what are you doing as far as workshops go?
Well, the wonderful world of virtualism is definitely upon us. I have adapted. So twice a month, I'm offering just a virtual catch-up. We get together on Zoom, and literally it's a Friday night. We are crafting whatever you want to be crafting. There's no cost for that. It's just a click on the link, come join us, show us what you're working on. The amount of different conversations that are non-COVID related and non-craft related is amazing. So it's just nice to catch up with other people. So that's on a Friday night, as I said, twice a month. And then I've been doing virtual card classes. So some of those happy birthday cards that I showed before. Some of these ones are coming up in my class next week. So that's just a mail order kit. And again, we're going to be doing that via a Facebook group, but with actual Zoom so that we can interact, and then it can be recorded, shared later with the group, so that if you happen to miss it or the power goes out or anything silly.
I mean, a month ago we would have said, that's silly, Dannii, but after this week in Melbourne, power going out is a very real possibility.
Absolutely. And it's just reality, isn't it, at the moment? I've also got a more, I guess, what I'd call a more advanced card class coming up, where we're actually going to be using some of those dies and things. So some of the cards I showed today are in that advanced class. And coming up in October, I've got a virtual retreat.
A virtual retreat? Tell us about that.
So it's a chance to spend all weekend crafting. But the beauty of it is it's run via a private Facebook group. So everything gets posted up and you can take your time. So if the kids call me and I need to go, apply first aid or anything silly, that happened, trust me, one retreat. It means that I can come back to it. So as a crafter, you can come back to it, and we're going to be doing some Zoom type sessions. We've got a few theme things going on, so dress up for our Zoom calls. Okay. Bit of fun.
Yeah, because just to clarify, you do normally have in-person retreats. You've just had to change at the moment.
Yes, I do normally do in-person retreats, but with a heavy heart, I did decide it was best to just cancel October and go virtual. So the other thing with that is there is optional kit classes as well. So one of them is we're taking one of the scrapbook workshops that Close to My Heart provide, and I'm actually showing everyone how to turn it, rather than 3 layouts, turn it into 6 layouts, just with some extra. And we're doing a few things. One of them's called Extended Story. So this is ways to go beyond just one 12 by 12 page, adding in different size memory protectors to add extra memories to your story.
Oh, okay.
So it is very interesting. It's a story by Stacey, or I won't say most of you. Some of you will have heard of Stacey Julian, and she has teamed up with Close to My Heart, and so she's offered a number of different little mini albums and things like that. But this extended story is one of her concepts. So it's a very fun, different way to do it. So to participate, if you want, in any of my events, it's all up on my Facebook page, and there are try-booking links to go through and order your kits and those sorts of things. For anyone who doesn't want to pay the try-booking fees, because let's face it, they're all out for their money too, there is options to do a bank deposit for classes and things like that as well. So
excellent.
Yeah.
And so all the details are on your Facebook page, which we've linked in this video.
Yay!
It's the problem, not knowing what people are viewing it on. Some it might be here, sometimes it might be here, sometimes it might be there. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we'll make sure that it's with the replay of this video as well. So excellent. Well, Dannii, thank you so much for sharing all those things. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed, actually, between the shaker cards and the waterfall cards and the window dies and the layered dies. There is just so much to do.
There is so much to do, and I didn't even order half of the new stuff. So.
Oh, wow. Excellent. And so if people did want to get the new catalogues, how's the best way to do that?
The best way is just to reach out and contact me. Everyone who places an order is getting them free in their orders anyway. Alternatively, you can purchase the catalogue as well by itself.
Excellent. And so you said that the annual one has really just started, so it's the September through to August, plus there's a monthly one as well. So
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. Fantastic. Well, Dannii, thank you so much for coming and sharing some of your lovely designs and telling us about National Stamping Month.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Thanks, Dannii. We'll see you again soon. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed those extensive demonstrations from Dannii. Like I said, I'm just so excited. I love that waterfall one. I love the layered dies. I love the idea of the movable cards. My engineering brain is just absolutely on fire. So I hope that has sparked some creativity with you. Like I said, get in touch with Dannii on Facebook. Her link will be somewhere near this video. And please get in touch, reach out. And particularly if you're finding yourself you are a little bit isolated, and even if you don't know some of these platforms, Dannii mentioned Zoom and a few other things. Most of them are made to be quite user-friendly, so please spend some time to get to know them. Dannii's got those groups on Friday. Reach out. Just be there and craft alongside people, and it really can help us feel more connected. So I hope you've enjoyed this P2P Craft Presents Close to My Heart with Dannii. Now, of course, like as always, all the details will be over at our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au, where you can watch this again, slow it down and get all the details and hopefully have some crafty fun. So this is Michelle signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.